Good evening. The Conejo Valley Unified School District Board of Education regular board meeting of September 17th, 2025 will please come to order. Pursuant to the Ralph M. Brown Act, this is a meeting of the Board of Education in public, and only items on the agenda will be discussed this evening. We invite you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're at item 2C, announcements from closed session and open session procedures. The board is adjourning from closed session where the following items permitted by law were considered. 1B, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956-9 D1, case OAH 202-505-0376. Trustee Gorbach made the motion to approve the settlement agreement for case OAH 202-505-0376, seconded by Trustee Sylvester. The motion carried 5-0. 1C, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956-9D1. Trustee Goldberg made the motion to approve the settlement agreement for case OAH 202-506-0156, seconded by Trustee Gill. Motion carried 5-0. I would like to welcome everyone to the meeting and would like to make the following announcements. The board values your input on the important education matters we face. Therefore, the district is providing multiple opportunities for public participation. Public viewing is available through internet live stream on the CVUSD website. Please note the different opportunities to provide public or written comments to the board can be found on the main page of the board agenda. Members of the public wishing to submit a written comment had the option to email their comments to sfelman@conejousd.org by 3 p.m. today. Board members were provided with these written comments prior to this meeting. Persons wishing to address the board in person should fill out a blue speaker's card and hand it to Mrs. Fellman at the secretary's desk. If you wish to speak on a specific agenda item, please turn in your card prior to that item's section of the agenda. If the school district business you wish to speak about is not on the agenda, please turn in your card before the public comment section of the agenda. If you intend to donate time to another speaker, please hand in both speaker cards at the same time to Mrs. Fellman. If you wish to register your concern but not speak at the podium, please fill out a yellow public statement form and turn it in at the secretary's desk. Board members will be provided with these statements after the board meeting. Please be advised that a recording of this meeting is being made and broadcast for our live stream audience, and recording and broadcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Smoking is not permitted in this building or anywhere on district property. Copies of the agenda are available on the table in the board lobby, and please silence all mobile phones. Moving on.
Thank you.
That's your little reminder, Trustee Gorbach. We're at item 2D, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
President Powell,
Yes, Trustee Goldberg.
I move that we approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you.
I'll
Yes.
second.
Thank you, Trustee Kearns. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Trustee Kearns,
Yes.
Trustee Gill,
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg,
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach,
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. We are now at item 2E. We get to have a report tonight from the Conejo Schools Foundation. Executive Director Lana Clark is here to present. Thank you so much for being here.
Good evening. Good evening, President Powell, esteemed trustees, Dr. McLaughlin, and district leadership. My name is Lana Clark, Executive Director of Conejo Schools Foundation, and I'm here tonight to provide a report to the board on behalf of the foundation. Our mission as an independent 501c3 nonprofit organization is to support student success throughout the Conejo Valley Unified School District. We partner with the community to mobilize support and resources to enrich, enhance, and expand educational experiences for all CVUSD students. During the 24-25 school year, CSF was proud to provide over $500,000 in direct support of students and programs. This includes the CSF Student Support Fund, which encompasses the back-to-school drive in the fall, general support of the Conejo Closet, one-time student and counselor special requests, as well as end-of-year celebrations for 5th, 8th, 12th, and 12th grade McKinney-Vento students. Another of our widest-reaching programs is the CSF Teacher Grants, which I will just do a quick reminder, are open now for teachers in preschool to post-secondary now through October 10th. We also, I've got more visuals, Spelling Bee. Any school, elementary or middle school, that would like to participate in the Scripps Spelling Bee, we will cover the cost of registration and assistance getting registered. They can reach out if schools are interested in participating. The CSF All District Music Festival returned with 10 nights of strings, choir, and band concerts, and that is produced in partnership with CVUSD and our friends at CRPD. The Play It Forward Instruments and Instrument Rental Assistance Program continued this past year, as well as our support for the Breakthrough Program, including the parent workshops and general support, the Parent Outreach Program, including the support of the annual conference and general support programs, Conejo Academy's Hop into Kindergarten and year-round specialists, Rise with the Rams, special programs at Glenwood Elementary, We the People certificates for all 5th grade students, Proud to Be Me LGBTQ+ Advisory Council Project, CVHS student recognition luncheons, portrait services, and a new barbecue, Sequoia grade level field trips, support for wellness centers, Teacher of the Month recognition in partnership with the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce, the IB program at Newbury, K-12 language mini grants, and the Center for Advanced Studies and Research at TOHS, all in partnership with SAGE, and Madronia Science Specialist in partnership with Safe Passage. This is a non-exhaustive list, and we intend to replicate, if not add to, the number of programs supported during this school year. In addition to all of this, we offer several signature programs and events. This summer, we offered the Get Ahead program for high school students for the 15th year and welcomed our first cohort of Summer Academy elementary students to Madronia Academy for a 2-week program. We also look forward to hosting the State of the Schools annually and can, as of tonight, announce to please save the date for May 7th, 2026. The work we do is made possible because of the generosity of others, and there are a few ways the community can support us in these efforts. Our 6th annual soiree is coming up on Saturday, October 4th. You're invited to come tickle the keys for a cause at a night of dueling pianos. I've said this in a few meetings, but it will be an event worth getting a babysitter for. You can find more information on attending or sponsoring on our website, conejoschools.org. Acorns for Education, which was formerly known as School Sense, is being presented by the Oaks again this year. Anyone that makes a gift of an online donation of $20 or more to CSF this month will earn triple points for their school of choice, plus 2,000 bonus points. You can see the website for more information and be sure to log your receipts and support your school. Last but not least, we invite you to join us on October 5th for Charity Karaoke, where our very own President Powell will be representing CSF along with 19 other local nonprofits. It's a fun event, and we have a solid win streak we need to maintain. So come out and support us at the Canyon Club to cheer on Lisa and her crew. You can vote in person or online for CSF. Thank you for the opportunity to share and for helping CSF continue to provide local support for local schools.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much to CSF for all that it does, both you, Lana Clark, and all of the volunteers that are so ingrained and involved in getting so many things done. Just that list that you read off, I mean, those are our district's most cherished and invaluable programming, so many of them that CSF helps make sure are running, are going. So so thank you. And yes, I am feeling the pressure because there is a winning streak. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I do encourage everybody to vote for us. So we are moving on to item 2F, and we get another presentation, this time from CRPD, from, I believe it's going to be Melissa Rufio presenting. Thank you so much for being here.
Good evening, Chair, trustees, and CVUSD staff. I'm Melissa Rufio, the Recreation and Community Services Manager for Conejo Recreation and Park District. I'm excited to be here tonight to highlight a partnership that has truly stood the test of time, the one between CVUSD and CRPD. A joint use agreement was drafted in 1986 and established a shared understanding between CVUSD and the Conejo Recreation and Park District. The agreement launched greater access to community facilities and set the stage for collaborative programming. What began as a simple framework for sharing resources has blossomed into something far greater, a model of cooperation. Whether it's our children utilizing gyms and athletic fields, our seniors taking part in water aerobics, or families enjoying after-school programs, this agreement has opened doors to opportunities that have not existed otherwise. The joint use agreement has made a real difference for our residents and serves as a great example of how local schools and government can work together to support our communities. I'd like to take a moment to highlight some of the current ways this agreement is impacting our community. To make things a little fun, because that's who we are, the Park District, we'll turn this into a quick trivia game. Let's test your knowledge on how the joint use agreement is being put to work.
Round 1. How many elementary band, strings, and chorus teachers does the Park District have working at school sites?
The Park District contracts with approximately 15 instructors who teach chorus, band, and strings before and after school programs on elementary school campuses. Roughly about 2,000 students enroll in these programs throughout the school year. They have performance opportunities on their school campuses, with the culmination of their hard work being showcased at the Conejo Schools Foundation All-District Music Festival each spring.
Round 2. How many pools does the Conejo Recreation and Park District oversee?
Hi, my name is Dee. I'm the supervisor for Conejo Recreation and Park District, and I oversee 3 pools here within the district. We're thankful for the extra space during the summer. We get so impacted with swim lessons, everybody coming out. The extra pool space provides us with extra lap swimming, dive programs, swim teams, swim lessons, and we enjoy our relationship with Conejo Valley Unified School District.
The Park District provides funding for operational costs at both the Newberry Park and Thousand Oaks High School pools, allowing for programming not only in the summer, but for year-round for students. We hope to see you and your families out here in the summer.
Round 3. My child made the Redwood Middle School basketball team. Where will the games take place?
The Thousand Oaks Teen Center is home to middle school sport leagues. Student athletes playing basketball and volleyball play their matches in our air-conditioned gym. The Park District organizes and runs the leagues in addition to school soccer and golf tournaments. The Teen Center staff work closely with middle school principals to host school dances, Teen Tech Day, provide a space for sports banquets, and provide alternative ed high school tournaments.
Round 4. What is the name of the cooperative program that has been operating on CVUSD campuses since 1978 and focuses on engaging hard-to-reach youth?
Hey, I'm Luis Sanchez.
And I'm Crystal.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Emily.
And together we make the Youth Outreach Team. The Youth Outreach Program is a joint program through CRPD and CVUSD. It is equally funded by both parties. The goal of the program is to become a trusted adult to a lot of these teenagers who are at risk or are not engaged or disengaged students at their respective schools.
Students are referred through counselors, school administrators, parents, teachers, friends, or even through self-referrals. When we meet with students, we discuss life skills, social emotional needs, academics, or even school attendance.
Making the right choices are so important, and we like to get our participants connected to recreation at the Thousand Oaks Teen Center, where they can play pool, take a class, hang out with their friends on a Friday night. Just do the right thing.
This is truly an important partnership between CVUSD and CRPD.
And together, we are the Youth Outreach Team.
Round 5. True or false? The Park District has staff on elementary school campuses during and after school to facilitate programs.
True. Park District staff can be found on elementary school campuses to provide a wide range of programs that support students throughout the day. These include transitional kindergarten and kindergarten physical education classes that promote motor skills, coordination, and healthy activity habits. In addition, CRPD hosts after-school enrichment programs offering opportunities for creativity, learning, and skill building in areas such as arts, STEM, and sports. They also supervise and facilitate structured recess activities, ensuring children have safe, engaging play experiences that encourage social interaction, teamwork, and physical fitness. This partnership with the schools helps enhance the overall educational experience while supporting both academic and social development.
The trivia game was just a fun way of highlighting some of our key partnerships. I'm guessing most of you nailed it. Those partnerships really have made a direct impact on the lives of our students and community members. The collaborations we highlighted are just a few examples of the amazing work we're doing together. We've provided a little handout for all of you for a lot of the other partnerships that we are working on. What we have accomplished serves as a powerful reminder of what we can achieve when we work together with a shared vision. I want to take this opportunity to thank the board for your continued support. Your commitment to collaboration and the well-being of our community is evident in the work that we've done and the work still to come. Thank you again for your time, your support, and your dedication to the students and the community.
Thank you so much. And thank you to CRPD staff and everyone connected to CRPD for all that you do. Just so, everybody can't see this. I don't know if we can see this really detailed, beautiful printout of all of the partnered programs that CRPD and CVUSD have. And in fact, this morning, we had the Conejo Coalition for Youth and Families Annual Summit, which is another example of a partnership that is on here. And I think, today we were talking a lot about collaboration and partnership and connection, all those things. And I think some of the things you've shared really show us the importance of these programs, the benefit they bring to not only students, but I think everybody in our community. I think about being a young mom, like going over to Teo High School with my babies and using the pool during the summer and things like that. So lots of time at the teen center, as they grew up. So we really appreciate all of you. So thank you for that report. Moving on to 2G, public comments. The CVUSD Board of Education wants to hear from students, parents, employees, and our community. All individuals have the right to provide public comments during our school board meetings under Government Code Section 549543. Comments regarding specific items listed on tonight's agenda must be made when that agenda item is called. If you wish to speak on a topic that is not on tonight's agenda, now is the time to provide your public comment. If you've not already done so and wish to speak, please hand in your blue card to Mrs. Fellman. Please note that if you have any materials to hand to board members, please provide these materials to Mrs. Fellman for distribution to the board. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the board cannot undertake any action or discussion on items not on tonight's posted agenda. However, members of the board or its staff may briefly reply to comments or questions posed by the public. Usually, we will wait until the end of the public comment period before responding. As our meetings are held in public, your comments will be heard by those who are attending or watching a broadcast. In addition, the board encourages students to participate in civic affairs. Therefore, we hope that students are watching this meeting or in tonight's audience. Please be mindful of that, and please make your comments factual and offer them in a respectful manner. In compliance with all applicable state and federal laws, the governing board strives to respect the privacy rights of students and employees during our meetings. This includes the right for the identities of students to remain confidential. We also ask that speakers be sensitive to our employees' legal rights to privacy and confidentiality. As a reminder, those requesting to speak at this time will speak on items that are not on the board agenda. Please note that speakers' cards will not be accepted once the board starts the public comments agenda item with the first speaker. And we have no public comment tonight, so we'll be moving on to section 3. Our action items, we are at first at 3A, instructional services, adoption of an annual resolution. Do I have a motion?
President Powell.
Yes, Trustee Sylvester.
I move that we adopt annual resolution number 25/26-07, pupil textbook and instructional materials as submitted.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or comments? Seeing none, we will vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. 3B, we have a resolution from Student Services. Do I have a motion?
President Powell,
Yes, Trustee Gorbach.
I move that we adopt the annual resolution 25/26-08 in support of LGBTQ+ History Month.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, we will vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. And item 3C, Human Resources Resolution. Do I have a motion?
President Powell.
Yes, Trustee Goldberg.
I move that we adopt the annual resolution 25/26-09, declaring October 12th through October 18th, 2025 as Week of the School Administrator.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. We are at our consent agenda, section 4. Do I have a motion?
President Powell,
Yes, Trustee.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Thank you.
Second.
That was perfectly in unison. Thank you both for the second. Okay, Trustee Sylvester seconded that. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. Speeding along to section 5 of our agenda, we are at our information items, and we are at 5A, which is our instructional services approval of 25-26 school plans for student achievement, our SIPSAs. Do we have any comments from Mr. Liu?
Yeah, briefly, our draft school plans for student achievement are being presented tonight to the Board of Education and will be on the agenda for next meeting for possible approval. The SIPSAs are a blueprint and a plan of action for our schools. And as the, I guess, long history or short history goes in our school district, we really have prioritized to make sure that these are action plans that can take into effect as soon as possible, as soon as the school year begins. And that takes a lot of hard work from our administrators, as well as our school site councils, which include teachers, classified staff, parents and guardians, as well as secondary students. So they are available on our district website under, if you scroll all the way down to the button that says SARCs and SIPSAs, you can go there to see the draft SIPSAs. In addition, all of our school sites either have or will shortly be communicating to their families and staff the availability of these draft SIPSs for review.
I would note that we have an extra week to review SIPSs this year because of our board meeting in August is the second, or of October is the second week. So you'll get an extra week of reviewing.
And I'm grateful.
I have a couple comments, but just a quick question, and I probably ask this every year. The process from the school site to the board in terms of these SIPSs, what process does it go through?
So from the point that the SIPSA is approved by the school site council at the school site, we have a pretty short length of time, and we, as I look in this direction, our instructional and our student services staff this year provide a review based off of the guidelines that we provide to all of our schools via a fairly comprehensive memo, as well as our monitoring and accountability tools. So all of our directors and our team have the opportunity to look through and to review that and then to provide feedback to principals. Those principals have about 2 or 3 days, in the case of some of mine that I reviewed, maybe a day, to make some small adjustments based off of that feedback.
Great, no, I appreciate that because there's 27 plans, so it's hard for us to read through every single one. I did do a sampling and skim some, and I guess we have an extra week to do some more. But I do want to say that every year, to me at least, it just feels the plans get much better, more focused on those students who need it. There is just seems that data is being used really effectively, and schools are really digging into that, and the student groups that need to be highlighted are being highlighted. And while we also see, or I have seen a strong focus on academics, I mean, every plan talks about that, there's equally a focus on social emotional learning, there's a focus on inclusion, family engagement, et cetera. And it, just reading through the ones I did, it really did reflect the commitment I see to the priorities of the district and importantly, the priorities of the board. You know, I saw, grading practices, college and career readiness, attendance, all the things we talk about and have noted as being important to us. So I really appreciate all of the work because I know it is a tremendous collaborative effort at the school site to get this done and really takes teachers, administrators, parents, community members to get it together. So I just want to share my appreciation for all of that. So thank you.
Anyone else? I had a couple questions I wanted to ask. If you'd maybe be willing to share a little bit about how these SIPSs may have changed, given that we now have the dashboard and some of these requirements that for schools to address. And then my second question was about just moving forward, sort of monitoring, how they're being used. I mean, I come from I was a substitute rep for Thousand Oaks School Site Council, and they were very organized with how they used their SIPSA, and every meeting, every month would take a different section and look at data and crunch it and talk about it and how are we doing, and and I imagine that's probably not happening at every school, but so I have kind of that lens, but I was curious how it might look at other schools.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you make a really important point that the development of the SIPSA by the school site council is just one important piece of it. It really comes down to implementation, and for the school site council to be able to monitor and get information as the year goes on about how are the actions going, what changes are we making. As we talk about some of the changes to the SIPSA, I do think that is one important part is really starting last year, so this is our second year in it, the SIPSA template itself from the state did change, and it really mirrored the local control accountability plan in that for each of the SIPSA goals, there's a required section for reflection and analysis. That's reflection and analysis of the prior year. So every school site council and every team is providing an analysis talking about, generally how effective were the actions from the prior year. What changes, if any, were made and why? as well as perhaps what budgeted expenditures may have changed or been altered, as well as why. So there is like that built-in feedback and reflection piece of it. Related to aspects of the California dashboard in this year's SIPSAs and in the prior year's SIPSAs, the SIPSAs are required to make sure that they have detailed actions that support student groups as well as any of the all student areas in the California dashboard that were at the lowest level, which is low or very low. In addition, as a requirement of the SIPSA template itself, and similar to the LCAP too, actions for the 2023 California dashboard, so 2 years ago results, are also like required to be in there. Other pieces as well as we do have identified district-wide a few student groups and state priority areas that we, like district-wide, have required actions, meaning we ask all of our schools to provide additional focus and emphasis on particular student groups based off of those identified areas.
Thank you. And so when we get data, like the CASP data from last year, will schools be incorporating that at all during the school year, or will that just happen with the next year's SIPSA?
Like formally into the plans for the SIPSAs, that data will get incorporated into the actions, definitely like in a formal fashion for next year. But as our dashboard results come out and as our CASP scores get close to being publicly released, that is information that we'll share with our school site councils, which again provides an opportunity to make adjustments like in real time based off of the data that we have.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so we're all looking forward to reading more. All right. Okay, so we can move on to item 5B. And we actually are bringing forward, I know Dr. McLaughlin, I don't know if you want to say anything. We actually have, can I start?
Sure.
Okay.
It's kind of teamwork here.
Yes, exactly. We're bringing forward 3 policies tonight that needed some updates as well as some alignment with the governance handbook that was approved in the spring or late spring. And so this one here at 5B was originally titled just Vision. And I know we may want to have a little bit of conversation about it. There were some changes made based on the fact that during the process of governance in the spring, we put together a mission statement that is now out there as our district mission statement. Sometimes organizations will have a vision and a mission statement. We chose just to do the one statement. And so this board policy, I feel actually, the original as well as looking at the updates, sort of conflates the idea of vision of an organization as well as and then we also have vision statement, mission statement. So I think we might have a little bit of discussion to have of exactly how we want to word all of that in this particular board policy. So I don't know if there are any specific comments or suggestions. Or Dr. McLaughlin, I'm sorry, did you want to say anything about it?
No, I think you've covered it all. Thank you.
I mean, just simply, the mission statement, because when we put the governance handbook together, we called it the mission statement. In my mind, is a vision and a mission statement. The mission is exceptional educational experiences. That is what we are currently doing. The vision is preparing our students to reach their full potential. So I see it as being able to do both.
I would note that in this first policy, it really is just the adjustment of the addition of the vision and then obviously the mission statement coming out of the governance handbook and into this policy. The next 2 policies that follow is also part of the adjustment to the mission along with the governance handbook notes, but there's also some gamut language update as well in the other 2. So just to note where we're at with that.
I think my first read through was, instead of saying vision/mission, it should say, I can't get these words out, vision and mission statement, but if our goal is to keep it broad, so in the future, we can make those changes, then I'm fine with it the way it is.
Yeah, I think at one point, as Dr. Powell and I worked on this, I think we X'd out vision and just created it as mission, but we ultimately decided on the fact that another board could come in and say they want to do a vision. So that's hence why we have the slash mission.
Okay.
Does and or make it better for you?
I think vision/mission is fine. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the current statement, which to me is both, but if we want to keep it general, then I'm fine with vision/mission.
Right, because there's so many ways it could play out, right? Either have one or the other, or have like a combined one, like we're saying what we have now, or have two separate statements, right? So, any other comments, thoughts, wishes, dreams? Okay, all right, okay. Five C is Board Policy 0100, philosophy. I can get that word out tonight. Do we have any comments? Basically, that had a lot of statements in there about that were considered overall philosophy, and of course, this was something that we worked on together as a team during our governance handbook work, and so we just made sure that they are the same in what we have in the governance handbook. They're now updated here in this policy. Comments? Looks like Trustee Goldberg might have.
Yeah, just a procedural, because a lot of times we take gamut updates, so I'm thinking about future boards. Are they going to know the genesis of all of these? If it's vastly different from gamut, are future people going to know where these came from, since they're replacing bullets that are gamut language?
Yeah, we do keep an ongoing file, because that's part of my worry as well, is at some point someone will come in and say, well, we need to update it, and some of this stuff will go away. They do have to make reference back to the time when these have been brought forward to the board and approved, noting the blue language that sticks out, that is language that was added from the district side of the house and not just gamut. So that is a worry of mine, and is something that we talk about frequently with folks who work on board policies, that we need to make sure we have this ongoing document so people can refer back to what was adjusted, especially in the blue language.
That's exactly what my thought is. The people doing the actual work of adjusting these, like the amazing Mrs. Fellmans of the world, like future Mrs. Fellmans, they need to know where it comes from.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Trustee Kearns.
I think I would just like to see maybe something added to one of these vision statements here in 0100 about incorporating student voice. I feel like we have parents and community members, we have educational partners, and I think incorporating student voice is something that we've done so well and is such a core part of our district. I would love to see it reflected in this, even if it's just adding it to one of the existing bullet points.
That's a great comment. Thank you. I'm reading right now. I'm just looking at them. So give me a second.
So we could add that to 10, effective listening, communication, and engagement with all educational community partners, comma, including students, comma, help build stronger schools and community.
I definitely agree. That's what I was thinking, is 10 would be probably the best place for that.
That would be a very easy fix, add.
Definitely.
It makes a lot of sense. So, are we good with that?
Consensus is there.
Yeah, I see nodding heads. See nodding heads. Excellent. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Trustee Kearns, because you're right, that is very important. value for us. Okay. Any other comments on this one? If not, we'll move on to 5D, which is the goals. Comments, thoughts, questions? Seeing none, we can move on. We're good with it? Okay. 5E is Human Resources, discussion of board policy and administrative regulation, 411911. I think this is Mrs. Ashmore.
It is. So this Let's try that again. Thank you. Again, this is a gamut update to acknowledge that we need to enforce Title IX regulations as they existed prior to August 1, 2024. And then material was deleted regarding sex discrimination, which came at our last board meeting, which now falls under 4030 and was on tonight's consent agenda. And then I would just make note that this policy on page 2 has a reference to a new exhibit in the next policy on our agenda that is for consideration.
Excellent, thank you. Any comments or questions for Mrs. Ashmore? Nope, okay. Thank you very much. We will move on to that was 5E, we are at 5F. Anything else we want to add for this one?
So no, it's again reverting to regulations as they existed prior to August 1, 2024, and then it does add the exhibit, which serves as an additional layer of notification of how we process complaints.
Any questions or comments? Okay, I don't see any. We are moving on. Thank you so much. We will move on to board committee reports. Do we have any reports from board members? Oh, yes, Trustee Sylvester.
So yesterday, Trustee Gorbach and myself attended the school choice committee meeting. Do you want to share, Bill? Do you want me to? Go ahead.
The one takeaway that I felt was so exceptional was the fact that of the large number of school choice requests, Mr. Liu, but Shannon Snyder in particular, was able to grant like 80% of those, if I remember correctly. And I just think that's tremendous.
I think the number was closer to 90, is that? Yeah, 80, yeah. 90%?
All right.
It's around 1,300 applications do we get, Mr. Liu, do you remember?
Just rough numbers, I think we received 1,700 total applications and processed about 90% of them. Processed meaning like we granted approvals for 90%.
Plus about 450 out of district. Can't forget that. Just a couple other points to make. Most importantly, we're at it again, the priority window for school choice for the upcoming school year will open on Monday, November 3rd, and will close on Friday, January 31st. So if you submit your application during that window, you don't get an advantage by being the first one. I mean, they're all treated equally. So if you want a school choice, or your friends who want a school choice, or people who are not yet in the district, please, please, please spread the word.
It's February 3rd. February 2nd.
They must be.
The closing date, February 2nd, because again, that Friday.
February 2nd was a Tuesday, though. I did have a question on that, because Friday is the last month day in January.
So the first time to be in the priority window is to submit on November 3rd. That's the Monday. We typically do it on the 1st, but we're doing it on the 3rd because it's a Monday. We want staff to be available to answer questions. And then the last day to submit to be in the priority window is February 2nd, which is a Monday.
Oh, okay. I made a note. So you have an extra day in there, good. There will be an enrollment information night for TK and K on October 28th. This will be virtual. And we talked about the process for this year. And I think both Trustee Gorbach and I have had the same reaction to the 2 meetings we've been to. There is a tremendous amount of work that goes into processing these applications, doing it in a fair manner, following our policies, et cetera. So we really need to thank, a shout out to both Shannon Snyder as well as Dr. Sellers for the work that they do. The other point was we put in a new system this past year, so every parent had a unique wait list number if they were on the wait list, and that was, they were able to then get on our website and look up their wait list number and see where they were, which apparently cut dramatically down the number of calls that had to be fielded. So really, really appreciated that efforts. And we talked about the administrative regulation 5116.1. There's some changes that have been proposed, and that will come before the board in October. So that was it.
Can I add a comment also? Another comment? To the thousands of parents that are listening or going to watch this on review, the important thing is that this is like what Dr. Sellers just said, and this is like a game of live dominoes. That you have to realize when you make a request to transfer from a school, that affects the opening at the school that you're leaving as well as the one you're filling and coming in, which means that the request to get into the school you're leaving, it affects a whole bunch of different people, is what I'm trying to say. So I just request that, that people pay attention when they get their notification. Don't hang on to it till the deadline. Do it as quick as possible because it does affect other families that you don't know.
Thank you. Any other reports? Trustee Goldberg.
So I had the opportunity to go to the Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce's Education and Workforce Development Committee, where the amazing Lana Clark from the Conejo Schools Foundation presented basically what she presented here, but my highlight and takeaway for our particular purposes this evening is to reiterate that October 10th is the deadline for teacher grants. Those grants are very impactful because they're right at the level of the students and the teachers doing the work. So I highly encourage everyone to take advantage of that opportunity. It's not a difficult application, so I really encourage people to do that. Remember, October 10th.
October 10th. Anybody else? I will share that the Conejo Coalition for Youth and Families did have its annual summit this morning, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in my trustee comments a little bit later, but it was a lovely event. And with that, we will move on to trustee comments. Trustee Kearns, you're up first.
All right, good evening, everyone. I am very pleased to report that we had our very first Student District Advisory Committee meeting of the year in this very room with Mrs. Judd last Monday. The first thing we did was elected a new recorder, so I'd like to congratulate Recorder Andrew Atlas on being elected to his new position. We're really looking forward to having an incredible executive board this year. We also appointed new subcommittee chairs for all of our amazing SDAC subcommittees, and so we'll be seeing some new faces and student voices on the various district committees, including CSF with Ms. Clark, out in the community and here in our very own district. Then we had a quick SDAC orientation where students learned from veteran SDAC members how to be an effective communicator and really emphasize communication with every single student that we are responsible for representing and make sure that we're in the loop about what's going on our school sites. And also to represent that in the greater context of SDAC and make sure that we're having really impactful discussions and have a space for everyone to freely share what they found and what they feel about these really important issues that we're discussing. Lastly, we had an opportunity to review, not preview because it was already out, but go through the sexual harassment module that released on Monday. And so student DAC reps were prepared to emphasize its importance across our school sites as one of the most important things that we can focus on in an educational environment, making sure that every single student feels comfortable in those spaces. So now every single one of our student DAC reps is prepared to take questions from their peers and understands the content themselves. I think they'll actually have to go through it twice, so they should be doubly familiar with it. So that was really, really great of us able to do that. So thank you, Mr. Liu and Ms. Judd, for helping us do that. Switching gears a little bit, I'd like to talk quickly about political violence. We've seen some pretty tragic events of political violence this year, and I've heard a lot of my peers express a lot of uncertainty about it, and not sure what to feel. And so I wanted to quickly say, political violence is absolutely never acceptable, and we absolutely must condemn it as something that is anti-democratic and a harm to every single individual who chooses to participate in our great American democracy, as something that is not helpful but only harmful. No matter what you feel, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, political violence is never okay, and I think something that we can all come together and agree on is that it has no place in our nation. Finally, National Voter Registration Day was, I believe, a couple days ago, if not yesterday. And so I'm just going to remind everyone once more, especially to all my peers who are 16 and older, pre-register. And if you're 18 or older, register to vote. Really one of the most important responsibilities that we have. I won't repeat what I said in my last board comment, but I'm looking forward to helping a lot of my fellow students register or pre-register, especially for that special election that's coming up soon. With that, good night, Conejo Valley. Thank you all.
Thank you, Trustee Kearns. Next up is Trustee Sylvester.
All right, good evening, everybody. First off, I do want to thank Conejo Schools Foundation and CRPD for coming here tonight and presenting all of the wonderful programs and services that you provide. We are really fortunate to have such strong community partners, and I think both of you shared everything that's going on, which is quite a bit. National Hispanic Heritage Month started September 15th, and as we know, celebrates the achievements and contributions of our Hispanic community. And as every year, I can't wait to see how our various school sites celebrate that. I got a little bit of a preview walking through the hallway here at CVHS. They already have some bulletins up. Well, the district and the board are clearly back in the thick of things. Since our last meeting, there have been multiple DAC meetings, including the first SDAC meeting, as Trustee Kearns laid out. And Trustee Kearns, you did really an amazing job piloting that first meeting. Really smooth, so excellent. And the sexual harassment video, which was screened, was really excellent. So I do want to echo the thanks to Ms. Judd and Mr. Liu for their work in selecting that particular video. Quickly, I went to back to school night at Westlake High School, and Principal Branham really did an excellent job communicating to the parents all of the strengths and all of the accolades that the high school has received over the past year, whether it was performing arts, athletics, and academics. We also got to see great performances by the Westlake High School Band and choir, and I know a number of us are going tomorrow night to back to school night at CVHS, so that'll be fun. Speaking of which, our first Teacher of the Month this year was at CVHS, so congrats to Kyle Scalise on a much-deserved honor, and actually congratulations to the entire team at CVHS. You all do so much good for our students. Really lastly, I want to give a quick shout out to our GATE coordinator, Stephanie Caswell, for inviting me to the first GATE activity for elementary school students. It was an Odyssey of the Mind type challenges. And I have to say, walking around and seeing what the students were trying to do was a little bit intimidating. One of the activities was trying to separate linked paper clips with chopsticks. So that looked pretty intense. So I was shocked when I walked in. It just jam-packed with students, and they were all so engaged in this. So I do want to thank Ms. Caswell and also the many, many parent volunteers who stepped up. Our GATE program has clearly come a long way since the early days when I was a GATE DAC rep. So thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Trustee Sylvester. Next up is Trustee Gorback.
Good evening. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Again, I hope there's a lot of activities that are very reflective and educational. Happy and peaceful Bullying Prevention Month. Again, that speaks for itself. Hopefully that we have a very peaceful, not only Bullying Prevention Month, but bullying prevention whole year through. I did go to back-to-school nights at T.O. High School, at Redwood, at Los Cerritos. It is so much fun seeing within the first weeks of school all the engagement of parents and students, and just the anticipation of a great school year. Also, I did want to congratulate Kyle Scalise, Teacher of the Month, right here at CVHS. I ask that you indulge me for a moment of personal privilege. My mother-in-law in Scottsdale does these 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. Now, I won't say her name, but she's considerably, or her age, but she's considerably older than I am. And she does these 1,000-piece puzzles that are just amazing. Each piece is its own unique size, shape, color, but each single piece is essential for completing the big, beautiful picture. Then they're acrylic glued down. We carefully carry it down to the car, careful not to lose a single piece, because each piece is needed for the whole picture to be complete. We bring these beautiful pictures home, frame them, and hang them up. They are so pretty. The reason I bring this up is that it reminded me of our school district and our school community, that each student, each member of the community is its own individual piece. And without that piece, the picture is not complete. And we need, when we celebrate by passing the resolution we did this evening on LGBTQ, the resolution we're all celebrating Hispanic heritage, it honors, and when she gets near those last 10 or 12 pieces and one fits in and snaps in, we all go, yay, and celebrate. We celebrate each individual student, just like each individual piece of those puzzles. And again, without each student, the picture's not complete. So when we celebrate these things, Hispanic heritage, it's celebrating the individuality, the uniqueness, the specialness of every student. So I just want to say that and say that we honor all of our students, and that some of the comments we heard last week felt like we weren't caring about our kids. We care for everyone as an individual, and I just want to make that point.
Thank you, Trustee Gorback. Next up is Trustee Goldberg.
How do I follow that? I want to thank the CRPD and Conejo Schools Foundation for staying. It shows the partnership. You guys could have left, but you're still here, committed to this district and this community, and it's appreciated. So Trustee Sylvester put it really well. We are back in the thick of things. I'm not going to go through all of it. I will pick one, which is that last week there were a lot of mixed emotions, both some were heavy, some were joyful. You know me, I like to stay focused on the joy. My joy was at Wethersfield Patriot Day Assembly, where we honored first responders, remembering the helpers of 9/11, and so many other moments throughout this community's year. This year's ceremony felt especially meaningful because Mrs. Ashmore and I had the honor of meeting Mr. David Offer, a proud graduate of the first graduating class of Thousand Oaks High School, who still was wearing his Thousand Oaks High School class ring. But more importantly, he shared his story with us about how he went from not knowing what he was going to do on graduation day to Korea, to back home to the Conejo Valley, where he's continued to serve this community with humility and heart. When the usual color guard wasn't available, this year, Mr. Offer stepped up to present the colors. No spotlight, no expectation, just quiet, steady service. It was a small but impactful act, one of many small acts that are the backbone of strong communities. So I'm just going to stop there. I had some comments about, yeah, I'll leave it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Goldberg.
I do want to say one last thing. I'll skip the negativity, but something I heard during the SDAC meeting that really stuck with me. Don't look at it as homework. Look at it as an opportunity. That applies to all of us. When we ask better questions and dig deeper, we are not just reacting, we're building something better. And that's what this community does best.
Thank you, Trustee Goldberg. Trustee Gill.
Thank you. You all have done an outstanding job of covering all the things that we did over the last 2 weeks. I cannot improve upon your work, so thank you.
Thank you. I guess I'm up, and I do have some comments. I think I agree. My colleagues have covered so many things so well that I just thought I would focus on today's Conejo Coalition for Youth and Families Annual Summit. Like I alluded to before, because it happened this morning, it's fresh in my mind. I'm so glad Rochelle Callis is still here from CRPD because she played an instrumental role in that event. And as I said at the event, it really was those staff members, Amber Bowman and Sarah Malis from the City of Thousand Oaks, and Raquel Broker, I'm saying her name correctly this time, from CRPD, who really put the work in for this event. And it's every year. This is the 6th year. I've been prior as a guest, as an attendee. And so I wanted to just share some of my takeaways, my thoughts, because after the event, came home, getting ready to come here, was able to reflect a little bit about some of the themes of the event. And I think it's always powerful when you get a lot of people in a room, especially when they're people that are all doing things for others. And we had a lot of those people all together. There was a panel that included representation from nonprofit organizations, CVUSD's Breakthrough Program, and a CVUSD mom, and a recent CVUSD alum who shared their lived experience. And that lived experience included experiences of being unhoused and needing services. So some of the things that really just stuck out to me. One was the sharing from a service provider about her belief about what the biggest barrier to accessing services or having successful engagement with services. And that was shame, the idea of shame. And so, she talked about how shame impacts people. And how it's so important for us as humans out in the world, not just service providers of any sort of service, but to stay open-minded, not be judgmental, use compassion whenever possible. Personally, I'm a big Brené Brown fan, who's a social worker who's done a lot of research on shame. And, shame plays a really big role in all aspects of our society, and it's really detrimental. It keeps us from being our authentic selves. It makes us challenging to have effective communication with others, and it can really keep us from expressing ourselves or from jumping into opportunities that could benefit us. Shame holds us back. So I'd argue that each of us can probably name an example in our own lives of how shame has impacted us, and we should be aware of it, whether it's how we internalize it or how we might be behaving in ways that shame others. So another theme was the idea of belonging. And folks talked about being in a room where you maybe don't feel like you belong, and you don't feel like your voice matters. And so somebody brought up that this also speaks to the importance of being welcoming to all. And as it was shared, we might think we're being welcoming and kind, because of course we all think that we're kind people, right? But it may not always be perceived the way it is. So again, that self-awareness. The CVUSD mom on the panel shared her story about how through the encouragement and support of others, she not only got on her feet, but she found her voice. And she ultimately realized that her voice was actually just as important as anybody else's voice. And so I just think that's really important for us to remember, especially those of us who are in roles where we're making decisions, creating policy. And so that was one of the reasons I think the coalition board, the team as a whole, really thought it was important to have those lived experiences. And I felt like being in the room, listening to those stories, and that sharing was really, really powerful today. So I think it's just a lot of what we talked about today and these themes of connection and collaboration was just a reminder that we all have valuable insights and experiences that we bring to the table, and that we really do need all of us. And I go back to, and I've done this when I've spoken in front of groups, I go back to Dr. Nunez from CLU, his State of the University speech earlier this year, and he started off by asking everybody in the room to turn to somebody next to them and look them in the eye and just say, I need you. It was that simple. I need you, Trustee Gorback. And so it was just that reminder. I need you too, Dr. McLaughlin. And so it was just that reminder of how interconnected we all are and how we really need each other. And so I hope that those who attended took away something valuable today. I'm sure there are many other takeaways that you could take. Those are some of the ones that I took with me. And I'm just very grateful to have been a part of that, and just that reminder of these partnerships, whether it's between nonprofits, whether it's between nonprofits and public agencies, whether it's across public agencies, all of that. It's all really, really important, and it just helps make our community stronger. So I would also, now that I'm done talking about the annual summit, I just want to acknowledge this is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and there are many resources out there for people who are struggling and needing help. Ventura County Behavioral Health will have its annual Suicide Prevention Summit on September 30th. You can find information online. It's free for anybody to attend. And that's it from me tonight. Dr. McLaughlin.
All right, well, I think a lot was covered up here at the dais this evening, so I do appreciate the work of our board and being out within our community and at our school sites. It means a lot to our teachers and our students and our administrators who get to interact with you all on a regular basis. So thank you. We are 4 weeks into this school year as of today, and it's been a great start to the year. A lot of moving parts in this district make it great, and so I just want to say thank you to everyone for the part that you control that makes it a great district, and we just keep moving forward, as it's going to be a very quick year if this first month is a judge of how fast the school year is going already.
Indeed. Thank you. I know. We're next going to be back here October 8th, which just is nuts. Okay, so we are at item 6 now, which is adjournment. 6A, future board topics. Would any board members like to add topics for future board discussion? I see a light on, Trustee Sylvester.
Okay, so this is really just to start fleshing out this list here, because I don't think we really want this discussion until the spring. But I would like to get some feedback, positive, negative, indifferent, on the new cell phone policy. Any issues noted by teachers or administrators, and then any feedback from students or parents or teachers about any positive results on it. So again, I don't see this happening until the spring, but I just feel we need to start fleshing out this list right now.
Consensus, everybody? Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Excellent. All right, anybody else? Topics they want to learn about, hear about? I see your finger going. Trustee Corcoran. Oh, you want to go ahead and share?
I just wanted to add to all those, I mean, we're not coming back here till the 8th, so to all those who observe and celebrate a reflective and happy New Year and Day of Atonement.
And so, seeing no other comments, we will adjourn, and we are adjourned at 7:10 p.m.